If you're a new listener, just type in Pentagon tested gay bomb on Iraq. They didn't consider using it. They've used it on our troops. In Vietnam, they'd spray PCP on the troops, Jacob's ladder. You think PCP, some horse tranquilizer, something? They got stuff that'll whack your brain permanently. Brain chips in the troops. They give the troops special vaccines that are really nanotech that already re-engineer their brains. Now, there it is, the gay bomb. Look it up for yourself. I mean, this is what they're... What do you think tap water is? It's a gay bomb, baby. And I'm not saying people didn't naturally have homosexual feelings. I'm not even getting into it, quite frankly. I mean, give me a break. You think I'm like, oh, shocked by it, so I'm up here bashing it because I don't like gay people? I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Serious crap. I'm sick of being social engineered. It's not funny.
Meow!
Donald J. Trump is now President of the United States. President Obama is the ex-president. And Mr. Trump, for the moment, steps away for the
What a great
inaugural
honor
address.
to be able to introduce for the first time ever anywhere the 45th President of the United States of America, Donald.
The Founding Fathers and the framers of the American Constitution would look on horrified at what has become of the United States. It is a country that cannot or will not defend its borders. It's entangled in foreign wars every other decade, coups, interventions, trade sanctioning, horrifically in debt to itself and the rest of the world, and using a currency printed by a privately held central bank.
Well, I actually agree with you.
In fact, under the Articles of Confederation, the federal government didn't even have the power to tax. Now, what the United States has become in the past 243 years would be almost unrecognizable to those that formed the nation. As a matter of fact, the U.S. is becoming less recognizable by the day, with the 4th of July 2019 and the social issues that surround the nation being almost unthinkable even 25 to 30 years prior.
Honestly, I don't know why we're agreeing with each other on so much issues right now. It's like the bad things have not happened yet, you know? So far, he's actually very correct.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming?
So, I started my day with a quick glance at Twitter and found myself on the Revolution Club's page. Now, this is a group that describes itself as wanting to fight the power, transform the people for revolution, based on the new communism developed by Bob Avakian, leader of the Revolutionary Communist Party USA, and I have no idea who this person is. As well, it has them celebrating the 4th of July like this. Now, I've been saying this since the recent removal of Confederate statues in southern cities in the US, that the patriarchs, the high priests, if you will, as well as the alkalites of wokeness wouldn't stop there, and that they would be going after all things and all people that have come to define the United States for centuries.
Everything was great until you started talking about Confederate statues. And then you go downhill and go into conspiracy theory nonsense. I don't see why you want a rebel group from like 100 years ago that wanted to destroy the union of our country Like, that's very unpatriotic. I absolutely love your aesthetics. They're so fascinating. I like that flag you got there. Seems a good flag to me.
America, like the rest of what is left of the Western world, is undergoing one of the greatest social experiments in human history. And at the same time as this experiment continues to rapidly accelerate,
We should accelerate the progress of our society. I find nothing wrong with this. He doesn't understand the complexity of societies. These structures, these apparatuses always evolve. They always adapt to new conditions continuously until there's nothing left.
the ties that bind the nation, its language, culture, history, its sense of self are all being torn down. And the problem is, for everyone, is that they're not being replaced by anything. For example, and just recently at the behest of ex-NFL player and self-anointed commissar of woke Colin Kaepernick, well, he was able to have Nike scrap plans to produce shoes that were emblazoned with the 13-star original flag of the country because in his mind, the flag was associated with slavery. And if you take his thinking to its logical conclusion, then every flag, every single one, even the current 50-starred flag, is drenched in oppression, and it too should be removed and replaced with something that defines the new, woke, disunited States of America. This news of the colonial flag is also on the heels of other recent news that the Cancel America comrades would like to not only banish the song God Bless America, but also the Pledge of Allegiance and even the Star-Spangled Banner from civic life, as they are all examples of either racism, oppression, and they are all decidedly not woke.
I am very patriotic to my country. However, I realize that we live in a society that doesn't like it. But at the same time, we have large portions of our society that does like it. And you may wonder why there's so much unpatriotic thinking. It's because our society is run by elites that you like. You claim not to like elites, but you do unconsciously. And you use this as a scapegoat to ignore the real problems. You just mention some of the real problems, but you point them to the wrong people. You point them to those that don't really affect our society.
No wall, no USA at all. No Trump, no wall, no USA at all. No Trump, no wall, no USA at all. No Trump, no wall, no USA at all. Asian, Latin, black and white. Workers of the world unite. Workers of the world unite.
Al Sharpton himself, that delightful and uniting personality, has demanded that the Jefferson Memorial in Washington, D.C. be defunded, again because the nation's third president wasn't woke, especially given the fact that he lived in the 18th century and didn't have the social Marxist worldview of the 21st century. And
something strange in the neighborhood. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! But there's something weird and it don't look good. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! I ain't afraid of no ghost. I ain't afraid of no ghost. If you're seeing things now let's check in with Tyson for tonight's quick look forecast. Hey, I want to try something. Keep double boxes going right here. Hold on, I'll be right back. Just want to do this. Oh, yeah. Neato. Torso-less. Wow. How do you do that? It's black magic.
Century. And what has been proposed to take the place of the Founding Fathers, the flag, the national anthem, once they are torn to shreds? Nothing. And this is the real takeaway here. This is not about what is right. It is about dictating morality and working to destabilize not only the nation, but the civilization that built it.
I have not seen any sources for your information. I find it hard to believe you if you have not shown me links to any of this. And so far, all I hear from this video you've shown your viewers is a repeat, ad nauseum of the conspiracy theory that has existed since the 1930s under the Third Reich. I won't consider that a good thing. It is a simplistic and idealistic. It is nonsense. It is something that exists in your loony mind, loony ideas, loony conceptions of our material world.
And before you start to consider all of this, you have to understand that none of this needs to make sense at this point. This is clearly about demoralization, and even when exposed to the truth, a demoralized person is almost incapable of fending off the ideological attack of these fanatics. A good example of this would be the Democratic Party under Obama, which voted to penalize American citizens that did not buy healthcare. Well, now in 2019, the entire party is unified in the fact that they are all in favor of providing healthcare for free to people that have no legal right to be in the country.
It is true that the Democrats want to have free healthcare for foreigners, but it is a policy that will affect US citizens in a positive way. People like you would benefit from the system in place by the social democracy that many Democrats want to put into power. That is that, yes, these foreigners would benefit from the free healthcare, but so will you. You'll be able to pay for medication easier. Like you wouldn't be able to pay for bills for whatever disease a person will get or whatever illness that they will suffer from. It is easier. This is something that many Europeans have already done. Europeans have already figured out that curing cancer for free is worth it. That destroying the possibility of the spread of diseases without payment is better than getting payment but allowing the diseases to spread in your country. In a way, having healthcare for foreigners, including illegal immigrants, is good because you can prevent them from spreading horrendous diseases. To deny them the healthcare to prevent these illnesses would allow for your population to get infected from whatever horrible things are out there.
Damn your logic and damn your common sense. It no longer is necessary and has no place in the new woke disunited states of America. The new self-appointed pontiffs of woke, no matter they be in the legacy media, social media companies, the universities, and the other usual suspects, cry that anyone is far right whenever somebody doesn't believe the mental gymnastics necessary to get behind their woke crusade. And should they be allowed to get away with this vandalism of the nation and the civilization that built it, tearing down every vestige of Americana, its history, its heroes, its ideals, and replacing them with nothing but the slogans of neo-socialism and the cult of woke, then the current civilizational experiment, rapidly transforming America as well as the rest of the West, will be an utter failure. Or in fact, a shining success. It depends on who you ask. I myself fear that soon even celebrating the 4th of July will become just another imposed social taboo foisted upon the American people by this cabal of civilizational destabilization. Whatever the case may be, Thomas Jefferson was not only prescient, but totally accurate in his view that the Tree of Liberty must be refreshed from time to time with, well, you know the quotation.
I do have to say that this video is very funny. It is an ad nauseum that I find that is fascinating. It's this repeat of the same propaganda that you make up to convince your viewers that you are the woke man of the right. You are awakened of the supposed reality behind this illusion made from the Matrix or whatever nonsense you make up.
In fact, I would rightly assume that even quotes from dead presidents are now considered hate speech by the disgustingly censorious and profoundly anti-American social media platforms that are not only helping, but accelerating this destabilization effort in America and beyond. Thank you very much for